But the Mental Capacity Act really focuses on the requirements of the patient, the family. Is the patient able to make his own decisions? If they are not, who is going to make those decisions for him or her? Can he establish who can make those sorts of decisions? Are there any legal requirements that need to be in place? All those sorts of things. That doesn't just apply to people with mental health issues. It applies to people who may be affected by Alzheimer's or by all sorts of other things. And it's crucial that that happens.
You've highlighted the ongoing need for a number of measures, especially centering around supported housing, supported employment and access to therapies.
These are generally people who are affected, are people who find it very difficult to speak up, people who find it very difficult to access community services, people who have no understanding of how to fill a form often because they're very, very vulnerable. And where do they go? Where is the next step? There isn't a system that helps them. And I think it's important. The Mental Health Week is about relationships. You cannot form relationships or maintain relationships if the structures are not there, the support system is not there. And when someone has been institutionalized or has had serious depression or has all sorts of other anxieties, someone with depression cannot hold a relationship, not even with themselves, which is why they cannot get out of it. So it's crucial that support systems, which include financial support, supported housing, supported employment, because all relationships count, not just personal, work relationships, health relationships. It's important.
The Society has drawn attention to the issue of loneliness. Why is this a particular problem for people suffering from mental health issues?
It's an important issue again because when someone is ill and you think about a general condition like maybe cancer, and I say general because it's very, very common. People don't like to talk about it. People don't like to But there's a sort of thing okay, let's make an effort. Let's do this. Let's try and cheer them up. But when it's something to do with mental health, mental illness, it just doesn't quite work. Because the person with mental health issues really isn't, you could say, it doesn't help himself or herself in many ways, but it's not that they do it on purpose, it's that they can't. So it's a struggle for people to reach out to this sort of group. So in the end they become very disenfranchised from services, disenfranchised from relationships, they have issues with their children, issues with their family, and they become very lonely people. There's several places that they can access, but again, if they don't have motivation or they have other anxieties, it becomes very difficult.
And you've called on help from the public, so how can people make a difference?
Yeah, I'm sure that at an ordinary level, I have grown up with my mum always helping people who lived in the block who were vulnerable, and I've grown up like that. My mum as a housewife always went out to help someone, feed someone, or so that's a perfectly valid way to do that. We're calling on people to establish relationships like that. But in terms of the charity, we do need people who are able to give maybe an hour a week, who have specific skills, who may just want to meet with someone to have a coffee, who may want to come to visit Ocean Views with us because they can offer, an hour of arts therapy. I know there's a colouring group on Facebook that, maybe one of those people would like to come and just sit for an hour. Because relationships are important, and when someone is not well and feels that someone is reaching out, the difference that makes to their life is priceless.